Black Giraffe made this.
I don't know if I'm like...
Go for it. Yeah, the floor is yours. Like, I am so interested in what you got to say about this song.
As a 30s, early 30s white male, I don't know how much of an opinion I can even have on this song. But again, just the way she's approaching it. It's just like it kind of floored me the first time. I was like, damn, what is she's talking about this? Okay. She's just coming out with it. She's not like holding nothing back.
None.
Like that aspect of it. Welcome to After Playlists, where we help you discover music that you can feel. I am one of your hosts, Brendan Lee.
That's right. And you feeling me, Terrio.
And speaking of music you can feel, today we're discussing the next installment in one of our favorite formats for our episodes. That's right. It's number 7 for our recommendation roundups.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. Today we have several singles and a couple of albums each that we're recommending to you, our intrepid listeners today, with a decent variety in both genre and sound, like we usually strive to do whenever we make these. I will say this is one of my personal favorite recommendation roundup playlists that we've made, and I honestly can't wait to dive in and talk about the new music, at least new to us, and the artist that made them. Gonna be a really good discussion, I think, today. We got a lot of bangers, really good playlist.
Absolutely.
So, of course, we're going to be referring to songs from the playlist. It is massive. It's over 3.5 hours.
But honestly, like, it is that long. But once you hit play, I could say there was maybe 1 or 2 songs that I may have skipped overall. So you can just let this play and just let it ride, honestly.
It's really only there's a couple songs, because a couple of the albums are a little long. There's like a few songs where it's like, and that's also, well, we'll get into it. But
okay.
Yeah, it's very long. So if you haven't already listened to over 3.5 hours of songs that we're going to be discussing today, we do have direct links to that playlist down in the description, aka the show notes, for your listening pleasures. For real though, just go look in the show notes, hit play, set aside some time.
Mm-hmm. And we made it super easy for you. So we operate on 3 main platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Just click on the link that's your personal preference, and it'll take you to the playlist that's there available. But keep in mind, on Spotify Premium, you got to have a premium subscription. So if you don't got that, YouTube Music is your friend. If you got Apple, even if you don't have Apple Music subscription, you can at least hear the first few minutes of each song on Apple if you're on there. But if you're on Apple and you're not paying for Apple Music, why is you on Apple?
Yeah.
But I digress. Okay. So before we dive into the episode, we have our customary after playlist disclaimers. Number 1, we respect everyone's opinion regardless of how awful and wrong it may be. Number 2, we call these recommendation roundups because really it's required for you to go listen to these songs. So seriously, they're so good. Like, you really need to go listen to it. So these are recommendations for you. You want to hear some new music. That's the whole point of the show podcast, music discoverability. This one, there's no theme. We just want to just hit you with some stuff that we came across. So that's what this one is.
We say recommendation, but it's required listening
Absolutely.
This time because it's so good.
Absolutely. Next. Utterance discretion is advised. You may sing along to this playlist, but if you get your shit shook, we're not liable, responsible, or at fault, or fault adjacent. If you get kicked, let's say punched in the mouth or punched in the back of the neck, there is zero accountability here. 0, nil, nada. If 2 or 3 of our podcast listeners, or 2 or 5 here in this place, happen to stomp the fuck out of you with some caramel butters, this is completely, utterly, and completely your fault. If you know, you know. And number 4, we're just talking about the music, not the artist's real life, personal, or cancelable issues. It may come into conversation periodically, but that's not the main point. That's not the main objective.
No.
So, anyway, before we get into the nitty gritty of this playlist, any life-changing events that kind of, affected your listening during this time?
No.
Great. All right. Awesome.
Not really.
All right. So again, we've got the links to the playlist in the show notes. If you like what you hear, you like us. This is episode 71. The easiest way you can promote and help us promote the show is like, subscribe, and share. If you want to comment, that's great. If not, totally get it. Music is very subjective. But again, just like, share, subscribe. Those are the things that make us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So if you can do that for us, that'll be great. Okay, enough stalling. Let's get into it. Oh, before we get into it, I'm going to stall just a little bit longer. There's one thing I do want to give people a preface on. Because this is such a massive playlist, and also because neither one of us really truly have the time, we're not going to get super deep into like the lore behind the artist. We're really going to kind of just like talk about the song. So there's so much to talk about that I really don't want to make this a 4.5 hour episode because there's so much. But we may kind of dip our toe into a few little things, but don't expect a super in depth. This is all about the music and the vibes and our reaction to it. So. All right.
Yes, sir. I second that, what Terry just said.
Yep. So let's I figure because of this one, let's say the albums for last, because I figure that's gonna be like a good chunk of the conversation. So I do want to kind of just jump right into the singles if we could.
Yeah.
I want to jump into yours.
Okay.
Hey, hold up. Wait a minute. Pause it. Okay. What the fuck, bro?
I love that song.
It took me by surprise. I'm like, okay, because all of my songs were kind of, I was in a certain vibe when I submitted all of mine, and that song comes on, and I'm just like, okay, this is kind of interesting vibe. It kind of gave me a little bit of a, what's the singer's name? Ray, where it's kind of like the old school sample record, kind of throwbacky, jazzy kind of.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a jazzy feel to it for sure.
Yeah, and then just like, hey, wait a minute, Paul, can you pause it? And then the beat keeps going like, okay, it kept going. I was like, okay, that's an interesting take. And then it kept popping back in. So I don't know any lore behind it, but I truly feel that was like an outtake that they just like kept in. They was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw this in here because it's kind of fun because she did it on beat. So I don't know if that was like intentional or if it was like it was like an organic moment that got caught and they just kept it into the song and made it a bigger part of the song.
It definitely deserves, whether it was an accident or not, it makes the song better, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it adds that element that like if you're kind of, I don't know, zoning out or whatever and it does that, it does snap your attention back to it. And the fact that it does it like I think 3, maybe 4 times throughout the song. Mm-hmm. And it ends with it too, which is just like, wait a minute, pause it, and then it just stops. It's like, okay.
It literally paused because we had so many fake outs that like when she said at the end of the song, I was like, okay, is it gonna come back on? And then the next song comes on, I was like, oh, okay, this is a different song now. So they really did pause it this time. There's so many fake outs. She kept playing with my emotions. I can say, I think my European love of artists might be bleeding over to you a little bit because that was kind of a good vibe.
That was just a random YouTube recommendation that, in large part because of that aspect of the song, just really like hooked me. Mm-hmm. And I kind of fell in love with it pretty immediately. Yeah. And it came out a few years ago, 2023, but I just very, very recently found it. So it was kind of kismet to put on this playlist. I love it. That was one of the standout ones of your picks, in my opinion. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about your standout pick to me out of your singles, which I will say the singles, like we have some good albums on this playlist. We have some really good albums on this playlist, but I love our singles selection for this recommendation roundup, dude. Like there was a few times where like I would get to the albums, I'd be like, I'm not ready. I need to go back and listen to the singles again. Because they're so good. But in particular, my absolute favorite is "She's the Devil." I knew it. By Dan Byrne. I knew it. Oh my God, I knew it. It's got that. It's so funny that, maybe your love for British Europeanness is blending over, but I've transferred my love of rock to you. I think which you already had an appreciation and love of rock to some extent, but it seems like it's grown exponentially since I've like kind of introduced you more and more to it. Honestly, that was 1000% your fault. Because again, I had an admiration for rock, but I was like, okay, cool, that's fine, that's over there. I don't, dip into it too much. But man, when I came across this song, through my algorithms, think I found them on Instagram. I think the majority of mine came through Instagram, honestly, just swiping through. And when I heard that first note, I said,
add. I didn't listen to the whole song. When he hit that first note, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's really good.
I need more of this. Like that, it went through my soul, bro. I was like, holy fuck. Like, the crazy part was like I was listening on my phone. So I didn't even like put my extra headphones on. So then when I put my good headphones on, it hit even better. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I need more of this. This is the rock that I've been missing. Like that level of like, it's like soul infused. And again, I know I do this a lot and it's recorded on a podcast and I try not to do it, but I hate comparing other artists to other artists, but it's the only way I can truly describe it. And to me, Dan, is it Byrne or Byron? I just want to make sure I'm not pronouncing the man's name wrong.
I have no idea. Dan Byrne makes sense to me, but it could be
I think
Byrne
so too.
Or something.
Byrne or some weird. But either way, he channeled a little bit of R.I.P. Chris Cornell with that.
He has a singular like vocal.
Not even that. It's just like the quality, the passion, the gravitas. There we go. Like just the amount of just coming out the gate with. I'm like, oh, we in for a ride. And then he hits it again and again. I was like, okay, it wasn't like just like that one note that sometimes some artists would just hit that one note at the absolute climax. This song starts at the climax and just keeps climaxing over and over and over again. Because she's a devil and she'll make you do that.
It also has, to me, something I feel like maybe somewhat sort of like the more, some of the rock songs we've had more recently on different playlists has been missing, is it's got a kind of a guitar focus a little bit more, which, going all the way back to like my Jimi Hendrix deep dive way back when, like the guitar is such, to me personally, is such an integral part of like making me like truly love a rock song or not. And the guitar on this is just like, it's a full package for me. It's a really good, I definitely like repeated that. Like we'll just immediately loop that one back again a few times because it was so good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know much about the guy. I believe he's a relatively new artist, like new. Like I think this might be like his first single or lead single coming out the gate.
It came out this year. So
yeah. So I mean, if he's coming out the gate strong like this, I mean, I hate to do it to him, but man, you set the bar very high. So like
keep it up.
Keep it up, man. I'm super excited. Speaking of guitars, this song was hit or miss for me from your picks, but it became more of a hit the more I listened to it, and then the more I let it go through. And that was Cabernet by Erick Baker. So it starts off kind of, bluesy, whatever, but I was just like, and also the way the playlist is structured, it was like a weird kind of aggressive pivot.
I mean, that song doesn't really fit anywhere in our singles, to be fair.
Exactly. So like, I kind of go with that, with that frame of mind. But that being said, there's two things about the song that I like, but also like was kind of irritated. So I love the lyric and the every wino needs a song, I guess, as far as like, drinking a Cabernet, feeling it deep in the soul. I'm quite sure it's a metaphor for, whatever.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for his wife.
Exactly. That being said, I keep in my mind wanting to say caramel instead of Cabernet because it feels like that just flows better.
It fits.
Yeah. So like as I'm singing along, I'm like Cabernet. I was like, oh, it's Cabernet. I'm like, drinking my wine, and I'm not a wine person, so that also kind of makes me a little jaded. But either way, it's a good song. It just starts off kind of not strong, but when I just let it ride, then I pretty much like I would say the first 15 seconds or so, I'll be like ready to skip, and then by the time my finger gets to hit the skip button, like I'm like, okay, I'm back in.
Well, Erick Baker I've actually seen him live 3 separate occasions.
Oh, really?
Because he has a lot of, I would say the bulk of his musical catalog is kind of thematically in this same vein. They're like very sweet love songs where he'll have a point or 2 or 3 within the song where he just like, his voice just like blows up and just like hits the stratosphere on a note. And it's just like, oh, it's just so soulful. But he's like definitely, more of a kind of Americana, kind of sort of country-esque.
Mm-hmm. No, I dig this genre and that sound is it definitely leans more Americana than typical country, in my opinion.
Well, I meant to have
folk.
one of my favorite songs of his from like probably a decade ago. Was never released now. Back whenever we did like our love songs playlist way back when, but I completely forgot until like it was literally like a few days after we'd recorded that episode. I was like, oh, damn it! I meant to have Eric Baker on this playlist. Man,
there's so many songs that I heard after we recorded and released that episode. I was like, oh, this is so much of a better fit. Oh, dang, I've totally forgot about this song. Oh man, why did I not think about that one? There's so much music in the world. But yeah, so I'm a fan, but initially that was one of the ones that kind of was like, I wasn't initially into it, but then it quickly won me over once I, got
so this
past.
is it's a brand new single he just came out with like literally as of recording this like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So it's like brand spanking new.
Nice.
So I just wanted to give him a shout out, and definitely if you're ever in like a Americana love song romantic feeling, I highly recommend Eric Baker. Like I said, I've seen him live several times, and he's also just a super sweet dude.
Yeah, that's dope. I'll definitely have to give him a listen.
Okay, the other one that was like kind of a close second to She's the Devil out of your singles for me is Phases, which I feel like you also might have maybe guessed would be the case.
Actually, no. I wasn't really expecting you to pick up on that one, but I enjoyed that one as well, and I believe they're also a relatively new band and artist as well. I don't think they have like they only got like 2 singles on Spotify right now. So again, guys, super talented. I'm proud of you. You set the bar way too fucking high. So I'm expecting like a whole lot more. And to be fair, like I feel like Phases is a better song compared to the 2 songs that are out there, but everybody seems to like the other one. So I don't know. I like the vibe of this song. It's very
breakup song.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I agree. I mean, sometimes I like, but even then, it's a breakup song, but it's also kind of like, I don't know.
Maybe like a post-breakup song.
Yeah, it's
more
like
so.
It's a mutual breakup song. It's not like I'm blaming you. I'm not blaming me. It's just like I'm just going through some things, or whatever. So it's not like I hate you situation when I'm kind of breakup songs.
Well, I mean, there's a couple lines where it's like you like fucked up my head and like you messed me up, and now I'm like getting faded every day. Where it kind of sort of somewhat implies that there's like some emotional damage done, but also like you said, that is anytime our relationship ends, that's to be expected on some level. I feel like so. I don't.
That's true.
Know how much it is.
That's true. Okay. Well, I'll stand corrected on that one. I was thinking more on the optimistic side, but yeah, there's definitely some emotional. Sorry, I said that wrong. Emotional damage. Done. But yeah, that was how did I find him? That was on Satellite Radio. I was actually happened to be driving, and song came on Sirius, and I was like, oh, this is dope. It's a good song. And I was shocked to find that Scatterbrain only had those 2 songs, at least on Spotify. So I don't know if they have any other material anywhere else, but yeah. I enjoy the vibe of the song. I like the production of it, how it kind of it definitely fakes you out a little bit. You think it's going one direction, and then it gets more aggressive with
the singing's very, very good on it. I like the smoothness of his vocals on that song.
Exactly. Very, very, very R&B-ish kind of, soulfulness, blue eye soul. If you want.
Okay, I know we've been kind of bouncing back and forth, but I just want to go ahead and get it out of the way. Everything Burns by Tom Morello, another kind of pretty good, kind of rocky song. But I saw Tom Morello, and of course, for me, that has certain expectations. So I was a little disappointed in that song. It's still a great song, don't get me wrong, and I did enjoy it. But my first listen, I was like, man, I want the wow, wow, wow guitar solo.
And you know what? And that was the thing too. So I liked it initially, and then I kept listening to it, and I kept I was like, let me increase the audio quality because I'm not hearing the Tom Morello wow, wow. And it's in there, but it's not as prevalent in some of his other collaborations. So, I mean, it's a good song. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good song. That's all I got really for it. Jumping into one of your other picks, I really love the percussion in Planet X.
Oh man, that song is just such a pop.
Yeah, I love it. It's I honestly, okay, follow me with this one. Like, hear me out.
Okay.
I feel like if you were to do a remix with old school Nelly on there, like how Nelly would like kind of sing and talk on his records, I feel like that would like take it to a whole other level. Like when I hear the percussion, I automatically think of Pharrell Williams and like the Neptune sound with that. So I think that'd be dope. But I'm digging him in this style and the whole song. Again, this is one of the ones that when I was happy when what's the name, JGrrey paused it.
And then
this song came
right
on.
into this. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm back.
I will say the song is from his like very, very first EP. I think it's just one dude. I don't know if it's like looking at. I didn't look super deep into him. Just like looking at the like artist profile, looks like it's just one guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
from Cali.
This guy, this is from his first EP. Like I said, came out in 2018. He's had several EPs and albums since then.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to have a ton of listens. Like relatively, this is like over 1 million views or listens rather, just on YouTube alone.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones have like a couple, tens of thousands, so it's a little bit less. I haven't went and listened to any of his other stuff yet, but I do plan on it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's going to be kind of in the same vein, because like I said, this song is just such a bop. I don't even know what else. I mean, it's not really deep thematically or anything like that. It's a fun song. Talks about UFOs and motherships at one point, which I always like.
Yep. I mean, he literally wrote this song with you in mind, apparently.
Yep.
It's like UFOs, percussion, vibes. This is a Brandon Lee special.
And we've had nicer weather recently, so like having this song, like when I'm like out driving around with my windows
down,
volume up, just like singing along to the chorus. It's just like it's very fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And then like I don't know what it is. Like I like a lot, like when it comes to production, like I like a lot of different noises and sounds and meow, 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 and all the spaceship and all this stuff. But it's just something just good about just give me a good drum beat, a good bass line, and some percussion. That's all you need. And just boom, doom, 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 doom. And then got the whole tamarines and all the bongos and all these things going on in the back. I'm like, it's just perfect, perfectly layered and mixed. So it was just, dope. I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Well, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about your last single, My Constant. It was just another like really good song that just, I think, like you kind of alluded to earlier, because it comes right before Cabernet, it can be like having those back to back is a little bit jarring in a sense. They're a little different. Yeah, that's just another just a good song, man. Like we had all of our singles were so good.
Now, BROTOTYPE, again, I want to kind of pat ourselves on the back here.
BROTOTYPE,
sorry, excuse me. Another relatively new artist. I think he only had like they just dropped the EP, and I think they only got 4 songs out. So again, setting the bar very high. And for me, part of the reason why I fell in love with this particular song and the production and the style of the singing of it is satisfying that hybrid itch. Because it gives you that rock and it gives you that dubstep, and also the bass is hitting very hard and smooth, and the way he's singing on it and the instrumentation of it all, and just the like I'm like
the production is top notch for sure.
Yes, and I believe they're brothers, so it's like BROTOTYPE and then Neb, I believe. They're brothers and they collaborated on these 2 songs. Well, there's 4 songs, and other 4. This is my favorite, and I just love the singing. And then I like the message.
The singing's great.
Finding your constant. We all looking for that constant.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good message, good production, good singing. Like again, just total package in a song.
Yes.
Setting the bar very high for themselves at the gate. So keep it up again.
Mm-hmm.
All of your artists all of your songs were like relatively new. I mean, I didn't look. Is the Tom Morello song also pretty new?
That's a new song.
So all of yours are brand new. The only one of mine that's brand new is Cabernet. My other 3 are like kind of somewhat older, at least a few years, if not longer, older songs, but they're new to me.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
I just wanted to give them a shout out.
All yours were new to me. And speaking of your last peak, oh God, it happened.
Last peak.
It happened again. See the peak. Your last pick, Shawn James, The Thief and the Moon. So it definitely gave me Cabernet vibes. And because I was already in the Cabaret mindset going into that song, I was like, okay, this is very smooth. And also
more
it's
folksy,
just,
but yeah.
Exactly. More folksy, but smooth nonetheless, and acoustic. And I love the messaging in the song. It's like, it's, I don't know.
So to me, the message, I don't know for sure if this was his intended thought behind it, but I can't help but think of billionaires in today's world as like the thieves. Because, the song talks about them the thief stealing the light of the worlds of the light of the moon so that they can rob everyone in the world, right? Like, consequences be damned about what that will do to everyone in general. And that's definitely like, seems to be every single billionaire that is like publicly saying anything out and about. Like, that's what their words and their actions just keep kind of implying over and over again, is they're literally just out to attain just a truly unfathomable levels of wealth at the cost of even their own selves and future to a large degree. And it's just like, I can't help but relate that to this song every time I hear it.
Absolutely. And that's a whole other podcast, so I'm not going to go any further in that. I would just say that when I hear the song, it feels like like a parable or whatever. Like, it makes me think of like the fox and the fox and not the fox. The hell is it? The tortoise and the hare, like those things where it's like the juxtaposition between, you want the quick, fast thing, but also sometimes slow and steady, or the other person that's opposite of that is actually the one that's the wiser. So it's just, it's one of those songs that's like very folksy, but also kind of really makes you really think about like life and the things that we deal with.
Calling it like a parable is such a great way to put it. And this song, this has been true for me for a while, but it wasn't really until this song that it kind of clicked just how much I love a song that kind of takes that storytelling approach. So if you or any listeners out there know any songs that are kind of in that same vein, because like trying to go like through YouTube's like, recommendation algorithm just based off this song, it keeps giving me just like other folk songs, but doesn't quite scratch that same like kind of parable folksy itch that this song quite does. As far as like the storytelling like direction and like approach to it. So if anyone has any recommendations that kind of fall in this same realm.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. So now that we got the singles out the way, which we thoroughly enjoyed, let's talk about these albums.
Yes. And though, like I said, my singles are largely not super recent releases. Both of my albums, and I believe both of yours as well, are like super duper recent, right?
Well, no. One of mine was a little bit older.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see now.
Protoje's
was 2020.
Yeah, but new to me, new-ish to me.
New to me too. I never even heard of the dude.
Okay. You just want to jump in on that one since you brought him up?
I didn't necessarily mean to do that, but sure, why not?
Okay.
Protoje, the Jamaican R&B singer, maybe sort of kind of rapper here and there. Just artist.
Just artist. Just man. So what had happened for me was the song that I happened to discover Protoje is a song called In Bloom. Featuring Lila Ike, I guess. Ike. So that song just happened to show up on a random playlist that I put on at work. And I was just feeling that song in particular. I was like, damn, this is a vibe. I like this joint right here. So I just saved it and I added to my playlist that I have called Save for the Podcast. So, and coming up with the recommendation Roundup songs, I was like, okay, I need to find a song that's, worthy of discussing on the podcast. And I kept going through all my picks. Some of them I've discussed, and some of them I feel like, okay, I liked it at the moment, but not as much. So I was going to just include one song or whatever. And then something just told me, was like, what's this album? And I saw In Search Of, and that made me think of In Search of Nerd, that old album. So I clicked on it. I was like, In Search of Lost Time. Okay, I got nothing that's going on. Let me put this album on. Man, that's what I had to like text you. I was like, hey, I'm making a last minute change. I'm sorry.
I don't know what you had on before, because I hadn't listened to it until after you had made that change. But I think it was the right call, sir.
Absolutely.
I love this album.
Yeah, man. Something told me that you would. I figured there was two songs in particular I knew you was going to like, for sure. one of them happened to be featuring Wiz Khalifa and maybe the song before that one. But
A Vibe is definitely, I feel like, a great like smoke session song. Which, okay, so it is funny though. You bring up Weed and Ting and then A Vibe because, like, of course he's Jamaican, so stereotypically he's gonna talk about weed because that's like known to be a huge part of their culture or whatever.
100%.
But it's funny because, like, in Weed and Ting, he doesn't even really talk about smoking, even though it's in the title. But then, literally, the very next song, you see Wiz Khalifa, and you're like, okay, so this is where it's at. And sure enough, the whole song is about rolling up and chilling out and just vibing,
exactly,
having a good chill time.
Yeah. That's like I figure like Weed and Ting is like when you actually token up or whatever, and then when it hits, that's when a vibe comes on shortly after that. But either way. The whole
album is great, man. It's also short. It's only like 10 tracks, like 35 minutes or so, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't know.
So we both had a couple of smaller length albums on here that kind of is like nice and tight and doesn't really have a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
I also really love like how it opens, Switch It Up, and how it closes, Strange Happenings. Those are two of my favorites as well. Just not very nice like bookends for the album. I don't know if they quite work as bookends because they're not really the same, but very, very, very good beginning and closing of the album. I will just say that I enjoyed. I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm definitely gonna go and look at some of his other stuff for sure. I mean, I don't really have. There wasn't a song on here I didn't like.
Yeah, I mean, again,
straight up.
That album, again, top to bottom, you just put it on and it's really just, I don't know, like there's very few albums that I could say that can truly like change your whole, like everything, your whole vibe, your whole mindset as far as like how you're feeling. Right. There's some that get close, but to me, at least during my listening for the past week and a half or so, I'll go from all the other songs, whatever, and then this comes on and I just instantly just chill the hell out and just.
It's a very chill album.
I go somewhere. I don't know where it is. And I want to reiterate that this is all natural. I'm not using any enhancements. But if I were, oh my God, I'm quite sure I'll still be out there floating around somewhere.
I also have not listened to this with enhancements, but it definitely, again, just has, pardon the pun, but that vibe,
Yep. And then, In Bloom was the standout that initially got me into the album. And then Like Royalty with Popcorn.
I love Like Royalty is arguably my favorite song on the entire album. Honestly, that one's really, really, really good.
It goes so hard. But yeah. Okay, that's dope. Yeah. Still I Wonder. I mean, it's so many. Same So was good, but that's one of the ones I was kind of like, you end up singing to it, but then In Bloom comes in and just stumps over that. Like,
knocks it out of the park.
Knocks it out of the park. It's such a good album. Okay.
Well, I guess since we tackled your short album, I guess we can out of my two albums we can start with my shorter album. That's Baby Keem's Casino.
Yes.
Which just came out. He's the Doechii. He's the Doechii of rap right now. Just flip that back. I've been holding on to that joke for like a week.
I mean, he's not wrong. Man, this album.
The production on this is like, my first time listening through it, I was like, Terrio's going to love this, I feel like.
Oh, I loved it production wise, but because, again, we've discussed how we've influenced each other over the podcast. Listening to the lyrics, damn.
The lyrics are great.
I mean, well, yeah, the lyrics, like the delivery of it all, but the context of the lyrics, it's like, oh my God, bro. Like, what? I'm glad you're still here, because that's a lot for anybody to go through. Like your mama, your dad, your granny, like under a bridge. I mean, you've been in the streets, you've been under a bridge, been homeless, you've been in foster care. It's like, it's so much.
All sorts of family members abuse and use them, and
yeah, I'm just like, bro, like I'm so glad
all the trauma. Yeah,
it's a lot of trauma, like masked within all of this, hip hop bravado and all of that. But just like listen to some, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. It could be a good thing and a bad thing. I don't know. It truly depends. But like, this isn't as dark as like what's the name? Like a Jordan Lucas album per se. But it's weird for me listening to, like, he has some songs that are like, bangers, coming out to get, you vibe, okay, this is a club record, and then it cuts to, so my mama did drugs, my granny had me in foster care, and then like, okay, and then you switch back to too much sex appeal. It's like, okay, it's just going back and forth between like some traumatic stuff to, okay, we're in the club partying again. So I don't know if that's like a coping thing, but like definitely listening to the album is like, you definitely kind of just go from one extreme to the next. Yeah. And again, that could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. It just or neither, honestly. But overall, I do appreciate the artistic integrity that he put behind.
And I feel like that going back and forth kind of helps with the listening experience, because you don't get like because like you said, it's a lot of heavy stuff he's talking about, and kind of bouncing back and forth. You don't get too bogged down like in that necessarily. So kind of like it hits you with the realness, and you even those songs though are still like just production and beat wise, they're like a bops and a half, right? And like with his delivery and everything. So, but if you're actually like listening to the lyrics, you can definitely be like, oh, like you were saying, like, oh damn, like, bro, how are you still here? How have you made it? But then again, he kind of brings you out of that funk with, like you said, like Too Short coming in and just
like okay, so like that, my prime example, like you listen to I'm Not a Lyricist, he goes into some dark shit on that, and then right after that, which is my favorite song. I mean, which is crazy. Like, I'm not a lyricist, bro.
He's such a lyricist.
Like you can put that hat on, then you can put that crown on. You have a right to say that. But then followed by Too Much Sex Appeal with Too Short, which, spoiler alert, I think it's funny that both of your albums had Too Short on.
I did notice that, and there are two of my favorite songs from each album. So
that's so true.
It's ironic though, because like on this Casino album, the one song that features Kendrick Lamar is like arguably the weakest song on the entire album. I feel like it's not a bad song. Good Flirts is okay, but just like
it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, it's like it's just fine.
Yeah. It feels more like that, Luther 2.0 kind of vibe for me.
And people online were definitely like kind of clowning on Kendrick's delivery and like his bars about I miss your booty, I love your booty, want to be rubbing on your booty or whatever. Like I've seen several memes making fun of that, because that's just it's probably one of the lamest Kendrick, who's like, kind of known for having these like thought-provoking hard bars, and he comes in with that. But it also, like, I don't know, I on a certain level still enjoyed it for sure. But just again, it's just with how kind of lyrically dense. And also, I don't know, the production is okay on that one, but it doesn't quite match up to like some of the other heights the album has. Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like that song was pretty much just trying to capitalize on the Luther vibe with him and SZA.
But it's followed up by my two, House Money and I'm Not a Lyricist, are like my two favorite, because House Money just goes hard. And so does the Circus Freestyle. Which I sent you a short. I don't know if you actually had time to watch it before we started or not.
No, I have not.
Before we start, I meant to send it to you earlier in the week, but I forgot until like right before we were recording. But it's basically a dude just like.
Should I watch it right now and get my reaction, or wait?
I mean, if you want to, it's like a minute long.
Yeah, we got a minute.
It's just a dude talking about poking fun at his like flow switch ups on that song.
Yeah, that was a lot.
So he switches up his flow so much. And like there's even a bit, I think, like I guess maybe the bridge, where he even has like a Mac Miller-esque, like just a few bars. Where I'm like, dude, is this Mac Miller on this right now? What the hell?
All the songs kind of blurred together, but now re-listening to that clip, there's a part of that song that really just irritated the hell out of me. Nigga, I'm a coo-coo, I was scoop. I'm like, what? What is you doing right now? You just in the booth just making noise. He said, ooh, ooh. It's so dumb. Like that took me out of it immediately when he did that.
Even though it has like a heavy subject matter, it definitely has a lot of moments like that throughout. I feel like where his like, you feel his enjoyment. Like he had fun
in the studio,
this,
for sure.
Which you love to see that.
Absolutely.
And for many artists, you love to like have that bleed through.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, overall, like I would say of the albums, this one out of the four that we put on here, this was my fourth pick. Not that it was bad. It's just that I like the other ones more. But overall, good job, Baby Keem. I still struggle a little bit to identify him out of a lineup as far as like if he were featured like on a cipher or whatever. I won't be able to pick out like that's Baby Keem
because his flow changes. And it's not just. I mean, that song in particular, Circus Freestyle, he does it like several times throughout the song, but just throughout this whole album, he has like different flows and different like styles of rapping that it makes it like at the end of I'm Not a Lyricist, he kind of has like an Andre 3K vibe to him, like in that last little verse, handful of bars, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, he mixes it up a lot. I definitely agree with that. It can be hard to pick him out if you're not like paying attention to who's on a song. Yeah,
because I was just listening to it blindly, multitasking, and I was like, man, this guy got a lot of features on here. Then I looked at the track list. I was like, oh, it was just Kendrick and like obviously Too Short, which to me, that's one of my favorite joints. I just love the beat on that. It's so simple, but I love it. But it's just like, wow. I'm like, oh, I miss that sound. That era. I need more of that. All right.
Well, do we want to move to your last album or my last album? Which one do you want to talk about?
We gotta go
penultimately and last.
We gotta go to Big Mama Jill. We gotta go to Mama Jill. We skirted around it for a while. I honestly wanted to talk about it out the gate, but I was like, let's get the singles out the way first.
Okay, I feel like we might be in agreement with this, but this is my favorite picks of our albums, I think.
Okay. I will say, out of the four, ooh, God, this is okay. Out of the four, Baby Keem is tied for third. Then Protoje is second. I can't decide between my two favorites. I refuse. So it's gonna be a tie, and we'll explain why in a minute. But let's get into Mama Jill. To whom this may concern. This album to me is like the album personification and this is the Jill Scott fans who do know what I'm about to reference. The character she played on Black Lightning. This album feels like the personification, like the music, like the soundtrack that character would play, like in the background, because the filter has gone. Like she didn't have much of one to begin with, but she's telling it like it is, and I love it. I love her for it. I love it. And so also, sorry, not to cut you off, but two things surprised me. One, that this was your pick right out the gate, because I heard about that album. I was like, I'll get to it eventually. And then you hit me over the head with I got my first pick. Bam. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Excuse the hell out of me, Mr. Brandon. I guess I'm listening to Jill Scott. Like, I didn't get a chance to listen to it before. You already dropped the bomb on it. I was like, okay, well, yes, sir. And then I just love her versatility on this whole project and this album.
It overall is great.
But I'll let you speak on it since this was your pick.
Well, okay. So you kind of teed me up for what I was about to say. So I randomly happened to see, like, YouTube will always have like new music recommendations, like right on their home landing page or whatever on the YouTube Music app. And it was just, I was on my way to work one day, and I think it was like right after, or not long after we'd recorded like our last episode. And so I was like, we didn't have like a specific playlist to listen to, and I happened to see that. And I just remember thinking, like, we've had a few Jill Scott songs, like two or three sporadically over the years on the podcast, different playlists. And I've liked pretty much every song we've had of hers a lot, but I've never really went and like dove deep into her stuff. And I was like, okay, she has a new album. I'm going to check it out. And so I got literally to BPOTY, Too Short song, before I made it to work, which is Best Pimp of the Year. That's what that acronym stands for, which is biggest another one, again, or Biggest Pimp of the Year, thank you, which is, again, one of my favorite songs from the album. But just that, like, first half or so of the album, like, I already had, like, fallen in love with it. So, like, as I got to work, you had texted me, it was like, hey, let's go ahead and do recommendation Roundup 7. You can get your songs in the next few days. And I just, without even finishing the album, I knew I wanted to have this one on here, because it had already just drawn me in. And like you said, she had the lack of filter, the genuineness, the honesty in her songs, the production in it really drew me in. Her singing, of course, is phenomenal as always. Like she's such a talented singer.
Yes.
And this is also this is her first album in like her first full-length feature album in like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
According to the little YouTube blurb, which I was unaware. So I definitely like picked a good time. It was well timed on all of our part for this playlist and for her dropping this.
But I mean, but perfect timing for you as well to recommend it, because I heard about it, but I wasn't gonna get to it anytime soon. But this forced me to listen to it, and I'm so glad you did. Because she has been away from music for a while, which is crazy because I feel like Jill Scott is always in my orbit somehow, some way, like musically. But because she's been doing so much acting and performing and stuff lately over the past decade or so, she, I guess, hasn't had time to do music. But oh my God, this album.
I feel like she's probably been like on, featured on other people's songs here and there over the years, but hasn't really made an album herself. But I also don't know that for sure. That's just, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but in my orbit at least, I haven't really been seeing like a lot of Jill Scott features, at least prevalently. But the throwbacks, like I've listened to like a lot of throwback joints or whatever. But anyway, I'm just glad that it made it on this recommendation roundup, because I've been recommending this album to a lot of my female coworkers and other people that wanted to hear something new. There was an interview that I saw a blurb that Jill described her music as big areola music, and then I happened to see the album cover. I was just like, "Yep, that tracks." So it's some mature topics on here, and oh man, I love it, and I just love the versatility of it all. Because when you think of Jill Scott, you automatically think of making toast and going for a long walk, or you get in the way of how I'm feeling and all that stuff. So she's always been kind of had a very mature lyrical viewpoint. But I just feel like this album, she kind of just really just let it all out. And furthermore, even with the versatility of it all, because let's jump into one of my favorite songs, Northside.
Oh man, that's also one of my favorites. I love that song so freaking much, dude. Oh my God.
So I'm listening to it and I'm driving and I hear the song, and then I'm just like, that's weird that Jill waited to the very end of the song to start singing. I don't know who these other two people she got on this record. And then I looked at my phone real quick, and I was like, okay, Tiara, what? She did 2 verses on here? I was like, let me rewind that back. And then I realized that was Jill Scott in the first verse. I was like, what? Jilly rapping now and she dropping bars? And on top of that too, here's the thing. That song was produced by legendary producer DJ Premier. He only works with certain people. And if you have to be a certain caliber of lyricist to even be presented a beat by him to even rap on. He don't let just anybody rap on his beats. And for him to be like, Jilly, Tiara, y'all got it. I mean, come on. I need a whole rap album from Jill Scott. Like, just drop a whole. If it's
even close to Northside, I would definitely have that on repeat, I think.
Absolutely. I am. Oh man, I don't know how to segue into this one. So, if you listen to the disclaimer in this episode, clearly the disclaimer was
it's from the song Disclaimer.
From Disclaimer, which was an interlude, and then Pay You on Tuesday,
which cracked me up. I don't know if I'm like.
Go for it. Yeah, the floor is yours. Like, I am so interested in what you got to say about this song.
As a early 30s white male, I don't know how much of an opinion I can even have on this song. But again, just the way she's approaching it. It's just like it kind of floored me the first time. I was like, damn, what is she's talking about this? Okay. She's just coming out with it. She's not like holding nothing back. And like that aspect of it, just like I really appreciate. Again, like I said, that's prevalent throughout the entire album, but that it's like such a highlighted example of that mindset on this album or on this song, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just again, like, this is why I love Jill Scott, but I'm in love with Jill Scott now. That song is so tongue in cheek, but also like really speaking truth to power to how a lot of people feel when you're dealing with certain people. And the fact that she dropped the N-bomb repeatedly in complete correct context of the word. And I even like how she in the song, she's like, I'm not just talking about.
Well, if you think I'm talking about just somebody black, well, you as the.
Exactly.
And you need to know that. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was like, she like you were being.
Sent me, dude. I'm just going to be honest.
That sent me initially, but the end of the song is what kept cracking me up because she's singing, but also talking. She's like, I don't want to. What? You letting your rent again? I don't want to. You wearing a dress? I don't want she's doing both like back and forth. I'm just like, that's so funny. How she just like having like try to sing. I just picture her like singing a song and and having somebody like just being trifling right next to her. Like, I'm busy. Like, what you doing right now? So that was one of my favorite ones. Another one of the ones that really got me. I had to listen to it a couple times to catch it. Me 4. Now that one, that's clever. That's super clever. I like that one because it's not Me Too.
Yeah,
it's 4. Me 4. So, and she said, I'm tired. Like, I keep making the same stupid decisions over and over, and I'm not trying to go backwards. And then the lyrics are actually going backwards. As she's saying, I don't want to go backwards. And I'm just like, it's funny. Like, sometimes how much you try to do the right thing, things just keep falling back into that pit. Is just oof.
That's definitely one I get the feeling when she wrote that one, she like held up her notepad and was like, I'm a genius. Deservedly too. Like, not even like unnecessary arrogance. Like, it's deserved. Because that one stood out to me as well.
Oh yeah, it's so perfect. But let's jump back to Too Short real quick. We got to talk about the other one, Biggest Pimp of the Year. That one,
which is not even the production is great, but I love the theme of like not even talking about a real pimp.
Now you're talking about the pimp, like, how society's been pimping us.
The society, like a preacher who's like stealing money from everyone, but then isn't actually giving back to the community or helping the community in a way. And then like the pharmaceutical company. And of course you got Too Short coming in actually rapping about being a pimp and wanting hoes and whores and prostitutes and going and making that money. But again, it's from that viewpoint. He's rapping as like from the viewpoint of
the
those
preachers
people that are in charge of and that are running the game.
Absolutely. And like he's giving you the rundown of it. So I just fell in love with the production of it. And then I went back and started listening to the lyrics again. I was just like, she's stepping on people's necks with this. So I'm just like, this is man, this is what I need more substance. Like this is feeding me so much.
Agreed.
Like on so many different things. It just, again, the overall versatility. Like I said, she's rapping, she's singing. Obviously, she's doing spoken word. Ode to Nikki.
Well, I just want a quick shout out to all of her. Like you already mentioned, Tierra Whack, of course, Too Short, but all of her features were like really strong.
Oh yeah,
Absol on Ode to Nikki comes in at the end, and like that whole song is like super lyrical, and like with the wordplay and like even me being as like well read as I am, almost had to pull out a thesaurus in the middle of the song.
I know that's right.
They, like you said, they both bodied it, and then you also have to be honest with Jid coming in and having like that. The whole song is like very sweet, and I feel like that's a different side to Jid versus like we had his God Loves Ugly album on our last recommendation roundup. There might have been some tones of that side of Jid, but this is just like I love to see the more soft-hearted, like sweet side.
What that, and also I love the fact that Jill is recognizing this man's talent enough to have him on her project, and then for that kind of beat, that song, just the production of that is just I just really want to hold it. Like it's just. Want to be, and then he starts singing with her towards the end of it a little bit too, harmonizing with. I was like, bro, do you sing it with Mama Jid? That's like a level up right there. Like he's almost 100%. Like he's like at like what level 12 XP right now. Like like he's up there. And then I thought the rapping Jill Scott was going to be like, okay, that was a curveball. I wasn't anticipating the pimp song with Too Short. okay, it makes sense. Wasn't quite expecting that right out, that vibe, but it fits. You got the pimp music, got the pimp, and you're talking about all the stuff, that whole Waka Waka guitar shaft, whole vibe. Cool.
Yep.
I'm there. Then you take me back with the R&B, and then the Ode to Nikki was also like another head turn. I was like, oh, I always try to tell people like how spoken word and hip hop are like kind of like cousins in the same vein, and she's literally doing spoken word. She's doing spoken word poetry, and then have Ab-Soul come through and like actually do like a hip hop verse on top of that, and then her cadence in it was like just so perfect in the production and everything. And then she hits you with a unsi right here, right now.
Here, right now, definitely has like a '90s dance.
The house beat.
I kept thinking of our '90s women's dance tracks playlist we did forever ago. Every time the song would come on, I'm glad you wanted to highlight that. If you didn't shout out this one, I was definitely going to bring that up.
Absolutely. I wasn't expecting that. That's the thing.
I wasn't either. And again, coming right after, to be honest, with Jid, it is like definitely this whole album keeps you on your toes.
Yes.
Not to keep saying the same thing, but just with the versatility and the breadth of different approaches to making music that she kind of takes for this album.
Like I said, it just it's just such a good album. Just, I mean, the versatility, the soul behind it, the lyrics behind it, like she never fails in my opinion. And personally, considering the current state of the world and the climate of everything that we're going through here in America and throughout the world, but primarily speaking as Americans, the first two songs, like the first two, well, excluding the intro, which is dope as well, but in both sense of the word, it's a dope intro, and the intro is called dope. But Be Great and Beautiful People is like, we need to hear that right now, to kind of lift us up and get us back in that mindset. And I just love the marching band vibe of Be Great. It is, I don't know, it sets the tone for the project, and it's such a good opener to this project. So,
and I also just as a young or early 30s white man, I don't necessarily have the same perspective that Jill Scott does, and the same cultural mindset and history and everything, right? So like some of the songs, like Off the Back, Pressure, Beautiful People, but there's like several songs that kind of talk about the like black experiences, black history, black power to an extent, but like in a very, like, to me, sounds like a very healthy, positive way, which I just appreciated getting that mindset from someone, again, who doesn't necessarily have that innately. I always appreciate whenever art, of course, as found all the time, whenever art can like kind of give that to you. It's always a special moment.
It is. It's definitely a special moment. So now let's talk about my special moment with Lunatics and Legends. We were trying to, I can't pick between my babies. I like Jill Scott for everything we just mentioned. Going into Lunatics and Legends, this was a random pick. What was I doing? I was doing something or another, and I just needed some background music. And I was like, okay, I need another album pick for the playlist. And I was just like, okay, let me see what's something new, because I noticed that Jill Scott New was a new album. You threw Baby Keem on there, that's a new album. I was like, okay, so we're kind of we in a recent era, and of course I got bukus of throwbacks I could throw your way, but I was like, I don't want to do that. Let's kind of get more into the discoverability of it all. So I just happened to go on the electronic music section, just pick. And I chose them simply because it said London, to kind of poke fun at myself for how the fact that I like a lot of European-based music. And it was like, oh yeah, London Elektricity. Okay, let's just throw this on there. And then I read the blurb about it being like a mix of drum and bass with soul. I was like, okay, that could be interesting. And I listened to the first song, and luckily your boy, I managed to upgrade my sound system a little bit. It had the bass turned up. Yeah, it went on this playlist.
Yeah, Love Bombs is a very strong opener for this album.
Yeah, and then it just kept going. And like, again, I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. Everybody knows I love electronic music. This is very, very electronic music. This is like drum and bass throughout. and it gives you that Uzi vibe. But I do love how it really does blend the soul music on it. So it's Uzi, but it's not like Uzi rah 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 rah. It's Uzi but smooth. It's like a
unique
smooth
flavor of Uzi for sure.
Yeah.
It's not because a lot of, maybe not so much in like super recent, but like definitely, in somewhat recent years, I feel like a lot of electronic music definitely is like almost like by a template to a degree, right? It's like kind of cookie cutter sounding. A lot of it kind of blends together. Mm-hmm. This definitely has a very unique identity and approach that they took that helps it stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think because the producer, London Elektricity, like he's an older dude, so I feel like he has more appreciation and more time with the composition of it all. And then there's so many different collaborations on here. But overall, it's like a smooth Uzi. So I'll put this on. let me disclaimer, because like we use Uzi a lot. We use Uzi to describe electronic music. So that that's the term Uzi for those that may not understand what we're talking about. But it's very smooth. And I appreciate that so much so that like, I could do like my studies or from like research or something.
It is fantastic background music.
Yes. And it just, and then, I don't know. I don't know. It's something about the bass, the when you got a good bass system going on with that, or some good headphones, it's like the bass isn't just there for bass sake. It has a purpose. And the production is the forefront of this whole project. And that's what tickles my fancy with that. But then the lyrics on top of that, and the vocals arrangements and the chord progressions and these different songs. Oh, I mean, I have my standouts, but I'll let you talk about, you already
mentioned Love Bombs. It's a very strong opener. Lyrically, like the theme, I guess, of that song is a very interesting take.
Yeah, it sucks. Being love bombed is crazy.
Yeah, and it's like the approach of like, you came, you saw, you conquered with love bombs. Like when it talks about that, like in the opening, like leading into the first chorus, it's just like, it was a musical bomb in itself. I was just like, oh shit, what are they talking about right now? That's awesome. Some other standouts for me, both Numbers Man Part 1 and of course the last track on the album, the Numbers Man Part 2.
Yeah, it's so dope.
Specifically the way what they did with Part 2, where it's just like the dude talking about the different numbers.
Yeah,
like I'm just like, what are you talking about right now, dude? Like it makes no sense, but also makes perfect sense at the same time. Like I was just nodding along the first time I heard it, like, yeah, okay, I see that. 9 does look a little too big for his britches or whatever he was. I don't remember what all he was talking about. But it's like,
and he was like, but 7. 7 is kind of all on its own.
And 12. We're not even going to talk about 12 today. We're just gonna move right past 12. It's just like, okay, what are you? The last 4 songs in particular, Electrify, Don't Stop, Not a Machine, and then The Numbers Man Part 2 were, I think, my favorites.
Okay.
But again, I say that, but I also loved like the first 3 Love Bombs, I Don't Want to, Fly Away, Raving All Night. I also loved Unfrozen and Painkiller in the middle. Like it's a really good album. And so several of these, like I kind of had to make a point to like look at what the titles of some of these were to kind of try and remember them, because it's such a good, again, album to have playing while you're doing like anything else. That it just all kind of just in a good way. Sometimes we say this and it's like kind of in a bad way, but I really truly mean this in like the best possible way you can take it. It kind of all blends together in a sense.
Yeah. I definitely understand where you come from with that, because for the longest time I thought Echoes Into the Dance, well, excuse me, not Into the Dance, Echoes in the Dance and The Numbers Man was like the same song. Because I thought it started off one way and then eventually faded into the long instrumental composing part. So my standouts are Rave All Night, Unfrozen, and Painkiller.
Like Unfrozen and Painkiller back to back in the middle of the album are like definite high points for me as well.
Yeah, but Unfrozen, that's the one that gets me production wise, because like, she just, it's like so sweet and sultry, and then that bass drops just boom. And then you add more layers of bass on top of that. It's like doom 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 doom. I was like, oh, man,
it's pretty special.
It's so it just does something to me. And then Rave All Night, I just love the whole concept of that, of just like him just talking about, and then like the break in the middle of the song where he just like literally just goes to the beach, like the drum and bass stops, you have a breather moment, you kind of can like exhale from all the noise and just I'm just out here just chilling. It's like it's a good beautiful summer day, just like, oh, we really are taking a break right now. Like it's almost like old girl said, hey, wait a minute, pause it. Right. So it's just, again, I don't have much to say beyond I just thoroughly love this album as a whole. It's great background, it's great foreground. It's just when you just need something other than, okay, never mind, I have the simplest way to describe it. This is one of my music coffee beans. I can say that.
Yeah.
It's just it's like a good reset, because by the time this album finishes, I'm like, I can go in any direction right now. I can go to rock, I can go to pop, I can go to R&B, I can go to hip hop. Like it just kind of just resets me in a way, because it's just such a good flow. And then with the whole numbers thing, it just really kind of just like like so many times when a song comes out, normally when a playlist is done, I kind of jump into another one, or just like, okay, I'm on to the next task. After Numbers Man Part 2 finishes, I kind of just sit there and be like, huh. In a good way. Yeah. It just kind of just makes you just kind of, it's like one of the moments you just kind of just take like a, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to take a moment.
Definitely recommend turning like autoplay off. Yeah. When you're listening to this playlist or even this album in the future, just to have that moment, because it is, I 100% agree with that.
Because it just does something, like just production wise. But yeah, I'm a fan. Like this is my first time listening to his work, their work, all in all. Like I got to say, man, we did our thing on this one, man. This was, and all these are fairly recent. I think this Lunatics and Legends album came out late last year.
Yeah, 2025.
Yeah,
and it is. I kind of alluded to this earlier, but it is just kind of funny to me, just how it worked out that. Of our two albums, like we have two kind of shorter albums, like time-wise, and then two kind of a little bit longer. Both of those, like if you compare the two shorter and the two longer, they're both like a minute apart in length.
Oh, that's
so like
funny.
Baby Keem is 36 and Protoje is 37, I think. Or I might have those backwards, but then Jill Scott's like 59 or 58 rather, and then London Elektricity is 59. So it's just like they're both like super close time-wise to each other. And like again, not really a lot of fluff, even on the longer, quote unquote longer. An hour is not like a super long album by any means.
No, not at all. I mean, go back and listen to Jizz album. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was a long album. But yeah, that's funny. That just shows you how much our music discoverability and stuff is aligning, because that was not planned in the least. I didn't look at the length of anything. I was just like, this good album. Let's just throw it on there.
Yep.
But yeah. Well, if you enjoy how long this was, feel free to go to afterplaylist.com and check out our social media links. Don't edit this out. Leave it in there. I don't even care anymore.
Okay. Will do.
But yeah, anyway, just go to afterplaylist.com for our social media links, previous episodes, and previous music playlists. Again, feel free to like, share, subscribe. That's the easiest way to support the show. Is absolutely free. It costs you nothing. Just nice little click. If you see us on YouTube, definitely give us a like over there. We can use some more love there. Hype us up. All that good stuff. Our community is coming along slowly but surely. Go to patreon.com/blackgiraffe to support us there. This is our primary podcast. We do have other things in the works. Just need more time and more help, but we'll get there eventually, because it's just Brandon and I. So whatever you can do to help support us, it goes a long way. And it does. This helps, keeps the light on, helps keep us streaming, keeps us discovering music, all the above, all those good things, helps us to keep the Black Giraffe fed. So do all those things. That's it for us. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Black Giraffe made this.
Bye. Whoa.
Bye.
That was so.
Bye. I might cut that out. Bye.
That was so aggressive. I wasn't ready for that. I literally jumped. I was like, what happened? Jeez. Oh my gosh.